Hello and welcome. This is political science class, and today we are discussing chapter 2. We already discussed about what is right. Also, we discuss below the right. We discuss why we need a fundamental right, why it's very important in Indian constitution. Already we discuss about few right also, like right to equality and right to freedom. In right to freedom, we already discussed about the right to life of personal liberty, that what kind of the personal liberty you have. Also we did discuss about the prevention detention, that if anyone person want to arrest after seizure, so that she have right to present in the court, or other freedom also we discuss. Today what we are discussing, we have to discuss right against the exploitation, but before the right to against the exploitation, there is a right to accused. What is right to accused means if any person is found guilty in the court and he is a prisoner, but still he have certain kind of the right. What kind of the right he have? Then no person could be punished for same offense more than once. Also he have that no law shall be declared any action as illegal from back days, that if means the activity was happening in the past, and right now in present there is a law related to that. No one can be punished for that activity which was in the past, okay, because law is formed laterally. So after forming the law, that activity is prohibitable. If anyone is doing after that, that should be punished, but for the past you can't punish anyone. No person shall be asked to give the evidence against himself, and no one can ask a person to give evidence against him. That is also known as the right of accused. Accused means a person which is found guilty in the court, okay. So basically mean क्या है, जो prisoner है उसके पास जो right है उसके बारे में हम बात करें. The second is basically right against exploitation. We have to discuss today article 23 and 24. Article 23 is basically talking about prohibition of the traffic in the human beings and forced labor. So two things basically are taking: human trafficking and forced labor. What is human trafficking and forced labor? Talk about the British time period. So there was people who was working under the British government and known as begar. Why it was begar? But people, because British government was not paying anything. It's not British government, there was landlords, zamindars who was money lenders who was not paying anything to them. That is also known as begar. So begar is basically illegal in India. Second thing is basically human trafficking, means that was slavery at that time period, that people, the British government was buying the people and then selling them to the America for work. So that is also illegal activity in present time period. So that is also a right to prohibition of trafficking in human, that no one can force anyone to do, or something that is basically called, and no one can also sell any person. So that is human trafficking and forced labor. So begar and slavery is basically illegal in the India, you can say in easy language. Article 24 is basically prohibition of employment in the children is the hidden job. That also that article is talking about that children below the age of 14 are not allowed it to do any kind of the job. Literally what was happening when factory was established, the people below the 14 was working on in the factories. Why? Because in starting time period, to clean the machine they need a small hands, because hand of the mature person can't go inside the machine and clean it. So that's why they were appointing the children to do the work. But that was also a reason for many incident. Many of the children died because of that. So the second is basically stopping for that no below the 14 below the 14 year, the children is not allowed to do the job. If anyone is appointing or forcing the children to work, so that is basically illegal activity, okay. Next is basically right to freedom of religion. So I think you get the idea. Here we discuss about the prohibition of human trafficking, means slavery is stopped according to Delhi, and forced labor means you are totally stopped for begar. And prohibition of employment of the children means below 14 the children are not allowed to work.